Some chapters of history are difficult to revisit. They are shadowed by conflict and loss, and the weight of their consequences can feel immense, casting a long, dark silhouette over the decades that follow. These are the moments that don't just alter maps or topple regimes. They fundamentally reshape our collective consciousness, drawing a sharp, indelible line between the world that was and the world that came after. The early 21st century holds such a chapter, an era defined by an unprecedented global conflict fought not on traditional battlefields, but in the shadows, across borders, and within the very fabric of our interconnected world. It was a time of profound uncertainty, where fear became a constant companion and the familiar sense of security seemed to evaporate overnight. The events of that period set in motion a chain reaction that continues to unfold, influencing international policy, domestic security, and the daily lives of millions around the globe. Revisiting this history is not an exercise in nostalgia or morbid curiosity. It is a necessary act of examination. But if you believe that understanding these moments is crucial, and you want the unvarnished facts without the sensationalism that so often clouds our memory, then this is a story that demands attention. In an age of information overload, where narratives are often shaped by political agendas and fleeting headlines, the pursuit of objective truth becomes more vital than ever. This account is not about reinforcing old myths or settling political scores. It is about peeling back the layers of rhetoric and speculation that have accumulated over 2 decades to reveal the complex, often contradictory, reality that lay beneath. It is a commitment to clarity over chaos, to evidence over emotion. It offers a meticulously sourced and unflinching look at the global hunt for Osama bin Laden. This was an operation of staggering scale and complexity, a pursuit that mobilized the most powerful intelligence apparatus the world had ever known against a single, elusive figure who had become the embodiment of a new kind of global threat. This was more than just a manhunt. It was the operation that would redefine the very architecture of modern intelligence gathering for a generation. In the immediate aftermath of the attacks that triggered it, intelligence agencies were forced into a period of radical and painful transformation. Old methods, designed for the Cold War's state-based adversaries, proved inadequate. A new paradigm was required, one that could penetrate decentralized, non-state networks operating in the ungoverned spaces of the world. This evolution was not seamless. It was forged through trial and error, through costly mistakes and hard-won breakthroughs. It involved the creation of new technologies, the development of controversial new doctrines, and the fostering of an unprecedented level of cooperation, and sometimes friction, between dozens of agencies and allied nations. The hunt for one man became the crucible in which the 21st century intelligence community was born. The new Netflix series, American Manhunt, The Osama bin Laden Tapes, delves deep into this monumental undertaking. It painstakingly pieces together the decade-long pursuit that spanned continents and consumed nations, from the rugged mountains of Afghanistan to the bustling cities of Pakistan, from clandestine meetings in European capitals to the silent, digital corridors of cyberspace. Through the eyes of the CIA operatives who worked in the shadows, the analysts who spent years connecting seemingly unrelated dots, sifting through mountains of data for a single actionable piece of intelligence. These were the men and women who sacrificed normalcy for the sake of the mission, whose lives became a relentless cycle of analysis, hypothesis, and validation. We hear from the elite special forces who executed the missions, the quiet professionals who were called upon to operate at the sharpest edge of American foreign policy, undertaking immense risks in the most hostile environments on Earth. Their stories provide a ground-level perspective on the physical and psychological realities of the hunt. And with access to previously unseen archival clips, declassified intelligence, and bin Laden's own recovered documents and recordings, the narrative becomes clearer than ever before. For the first time, we can see the hunt from both sides, the hunters and the hunted. We gain insight into the strategic thinking, the internal debates, and the critical decisions made within the highest levels of government, while also understanding the mindset and methodology of the man they were pursuing. But this is not just a retelling of history. It is not a simple chronicle of events, a linear progression from failure to success. It is a profound case study in the art and science of intelligence, a deep dive into the tradecraft of espionage in the modern age. It explores the delicate balance between human sources and technical signals, the painstaking work of building a mosaic of information from countless fragments, and the immense pressure of making life-or-death decisions based on incomplete or ambiguous data. It is also a sober examination of calculated risk, exploring the moments when leaders had to weigh the potential for a catastrophic failure against the possibility of a historic breakthrough. Every lead pursued, every asset deployed, and every operation launched carried with it a universe of potential consequences, forcing decision-makers to navigate a landscape of profound ethical and strategic dilemmas. And above all, it is a stark reminder of the human and geopolitical costs of global counterterrorism. The hunt did not occur in a vacuum. It unfolded across sovereign nations, impacting local populations and reshaping regional alliances. The series confronts the collateral damage, the unintended consequences, and the complex moral questions that are an inescapable part of such a prolonged global conflict. It acknowledges the sacrifices made not only by those in uniform, but by civilians caught in the crossfire. And crucially, this story is not frozen in the past. Its echoes are felt today, in our headlines, our politics, and our global security posture. The world that was forged in the crucible of the hunt for bin Laden is the world we inhabit now. Recent intelligence reports through 2025 and 2026 confirm that while Al-Qaeda's central leadership has been degraded, the threat has metastasized. Al-Qaeda's affiliates and ideological successors remain dangerously active across the globe. From the Sahel in Africa to the Levant in South Asia, these groups have adapted, forming local alliances, exploiting regional instability, and continuing to plot against international targets. They have learned from the past, operating in a more decentralized and resilient fashion. New forms of digital propaganda have emerged, far more sophisticated and pervasive than the grainy videos of the early 2000s. Using encrypted platforms and social media, extremist ideologies are disseminated with terrifying speed and efficiency, reaching a global audience of disaffected individuals and inspiring a new generation of lone wolf attackers. And updated attack manuals have surfaced online, adapting old tactics for a new era. These documents provide instructions not just for building explosives, but for weaponizing commercially available technology like drones, conducting cyber attacks, and exploiting the vulnerabilities of open societies. The playbook is constantly evolving. Because of this, counterterrorism analysts continue to warn of resurgent and evolving threats. The challenge today is arguably more complex than it was 2 decades ago. Instead of a centralized hierarchy, security services face a diffuse, ideologically driven movement that is both global in its reach and local in its manifestation. The battlefield is everywhere. This documentary provides the essential context needed to understand our present moment. To grasp the nature of the threats we face today, we must first understand their origins. We must see how the strategies developed to fight Al-Qaeda a decade ago have shaped the capabilities of both our adversaries and our own security institutions. It shows precisely how the hunt happened, breaking down the operational details, the intelligence breakthroughs, and the critical turning points that led to the final raid in Abbottabad. It explains what it fundamentally changed about our world, from the expansion of surveillance powers and the doctrine of preemptive action, to the very way we think about privacy, security, and the balance between freedom and safety. And it reveals why the lessons learned from that decade still matter profoundly today. These are lessons in strategy, in ethics, in the limits of military power, and in the enduring importance of intelligence. They are lessons about the nature of asymmetric warfare and the challenge of confronting an ideology that cannot be defeated by force alone. Watch to understand the full story of the operation, the definitive account of the intelligence war that defined an era, and to see why clear-eyed vigilance, not nostalgia, not fear, but a calm, informed, and unwavering vigilance, must be the principle that guides how we learn from our own history. for it is only by looking back with clarity and courage that we can hope to navigate the complexities of the present and prepare for the challenges of the future.